Master the game and join dating and life coach Mr. Locario live in New York City on Saturday, March 25th in Times Square for the Bad Boy Seminar. Mr. Locario has some exclusive realistic approaches to the dating game that will help you be successful with women. Purchase your tickets at MrLocario.com. Space is extremely limited, so pick up your tickets today at MrLocario.com. That's MrLocario.com. MrLocario.com.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So in this audio/video, I want to talk about the guy who the game is easy for or easier for. Because, I get a lot of emails. I talk to a lot of guys and, they hit me up and they're like, Mr. Locario, if I was good looking, if I was really good looking, the game would be easier for me. Or if I had a lot of money and status, the game would be easier for me, right? And see, what you got to understand is that having looks and money and status doesn't make the game easier for you. It doesn't make it easier for you to attract women and have sex with them. All right. So that's what I want to basically make clear, because, a lot of guys think that, being good looking or having a lot of money is going to automatically make a woman want to have sex with you. Right? Like they say, oh, well, if I just have it, then it's just going to happen. Right? And, see, the thing is that when we talk about, interacting with chicks and making shit happen, and guys talking about the game being easier, what we're really talking about here is, you having more sex, basically, at the end of the day, right? And the thing is that you being a good looking guy or a chick thinking you're good looking, because again, looks are subjective. A chick thinking that you're good looking, doesn't automatically mean that you're going to be getting sex. Just because you have money and status doesn't mean you're automatically going to be having sex with these chicks. You understand? And also, it doesn't make it easier for you to get it, because you're thinking, well, yeah, it doesn't automatically make, get me sex, but it'll be easier if I was good looking. It'll be easier if I had money, right? So basically, saying that it will be easier is basically like saying, and I used this example before, it's like saying, having a master's degree is going to make it easier for me to get a job or get a well-paying job. Or it's like someone saying having a gym membership is going to make it easier for me to get fit and get a six-pack. Or like someone saying, having a business is going to make it easier for me to make a lot of money, right? Now, see, what do we mean by easier, though? Because in all these situations, in all these examples, there's one thing that is going to actually, get you to where you need to be, right? And that one thing is having a skill and a strategy to get from point A to point B. And what do we call that skill and strategy? Game. So even if you have your master's degree, it's not going to make it easier for you to get a well-paying job. You know why? Because you need game in order to find that well-paying job, in order to get the interview to go to that well-paying job, to be able to, go on that interview and make the employer want to hire you. That's all game. You having your actual master's degree doesn't make it easier for you to get that job. You understand what I'm saying? You having a gym membership, right? And it doesn't make it easier for you to get fit. You still have to have a strategy. You have to basically work out, eat right, do all this other stuff to actually get fit. Just having the membership, having the gym membership isn't going to do anything for you. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to make it easier for you to get fit. You having a business, it's not going to be easier for you to make a lot of money, because you need to have game. You need to have that strategy, that skill and that strategy to acquire this money. So the same thing happens when we're dealing with women. When you talk about, oh, all I need to do is look good. All I need to do is have money. All I need to do is have status and all this other stuff. Then what you're doing is that you're missing the key component, which is the game. Okay? It's the game. So when we talk about, the guy who has the easiest time in the game is the guy who has the game. You understand what I'm saying? So if you have game, that's when the game will be easier for you. Not I'm so good looking, I'm so sexy and all. No. Not, I got mad paper and no. I hate to break it to you guys because I know you want to hang on to your looks, money, status, thing for forever. You understand? I understand all that. I understand you want to hang on to it, but, unfortunately, that's not going to help you out in the long run. Because this is the thing, and this is where guys get confused, right? I remember a while ago, some of you guys will remember, there's this dude named Jeremy Meeks, right? And he was some dude he was a criminal. I think he got arrested. And he had a mugshot out and all the girls were like, oh my God, he's so sexy and yada, yada, yada. And I think he's out of jail now. I think he might be modeling for some people. That's what I heard, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. So what happened is that a lot of guys, they saw this and they're like, you see, it's all about looks. If I was good looking like him, then it'll be easier for me to get chicks, right? And again, what do we mean by getting chicks? Right? So when we talk about getting these women, we're talking about having sex, right? And so what guys get confused is they listen to what these women say. They're like, oh my God, he's so hot. I would do this, I would do that, yada, yada, yada. And dudes who are not experienced in the game don't realize that what a lot of women do is talk shit, right? Talking shit does not equal fucking you. A chick could be like, oh my God, you're so hot, you're so sexy, you're so this, you're so that, and still not fuck you. You understand? I remember I had a friend who, I used to hang out with this dude a lot back in the day. And he basically used to model, I think, for like Abercrombie and Fitch and all them joints. Like if you go to those stores and you see the people on the wall in the store, the models, or you get the bag and there's some dude on the bag. Like he was one of them motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? And so, he's a good looking dude. And he had a London accent. All right. So he had the accent and he had the look and all this other shit. And this dude all the time would tell me about, all the issues he was having with women. So you would think that, okay, since this guy is good looking or whatever it is, that he wouldn't, need to deal with this. He, the shit would just be easier for him. He just got to walk in a room and be good looking and chicks is gonna, come over and suck his dick. But see, the thing is that, like I was saying earlier about women talking shit, is that a lot of guys get confused and think, okay, since a woman is saying this, oh my God, he's so hot, that equals that she is going to have sex with him. What you don't understand about women is that women are all about how they feel in the moment. So this does not necessarily mean that when a woman sees a good looking guy and she thinks he's good looking, that she's not going to have sex with him because she's physically attracted to him. Now that happens. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that doesn't happen, right? But what you got to understand is that 9 times out of 10, it doesn't happen that way. You understand? It's not that simple when it comes to women, because the thing is that men, what we're doing is we're looking at attraction through our eyes and our perspective. So we think women think the same way, right? See, when we see a hot chick, we're like, yo, I want to fuck her, period. Like we'll it don't matter what happens, we trying to fuck. You understand? Women, on the other hand, they'll see a guy and he's, they think he's good looking. And they'll be like, yeah, he's attractive. Or they could say, they're attracted to him physically. But then the guy comes up and talks to her. He says some shit. And then, if she's bored to death with the conversation, she's turned off. If he says something that annoys her, she's turned off. If he's goofy as shit, she's turned off. If he's insecure, she's turned off. Right? Let's flip that to us as men. If you see a hot chick and, she bores you to death, you'll still fuck her. If she says something stupid, you'll still fuck her. If she, is goofy, you will still fuck her goofy ass. You understand? Women are not the same. This is what I'm trying to tell you, that by you being good looking, it doesn't automatically mean you're going to get sex. Even if a chick is talking all that shit, oh my God, this guy's so hot, he's so sexy, blah, 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 and all this other shit, right? What happens is that a woman is motivated more by how she feels. So if at any time within the interim of her even talking all that shit, you understand what I'm saying? She doesn't feel it. She doesn't feel the sexual tension and the chemistry and all that other shit. She's not going to fuck this guy, even though she thinks he's cute. You understand? So what you got to understand is that, even in that situation, a lot of times the reason why that good looking guy in certain cases, or that guy that, the woman thinks is good looking, because any guy listening to this video, there are going to be women who are going to be attracted to you and initially want to have sex with you because of how you look, no matter who you are. I'm talking about everybody listening to this video, because, again, looks are subjective. So you could be that good looking guy to that woman, right? And so what's going to keep you from fucking her is your lack of, you guessed it, game. So a lot of times when a guy is, a chick sees a guy and she's like, oh, he's good looking. And you're thinking, oh, this guy got it in the bag because, she thinks he's a good looking dude. So it's on and popping. And then he's boring as shit, or he's whack. You understand? He don't know how to hold the conversation. And now he's not getting none. You feel what I'm saying? So being good looking doesn't automatically get you the sex. And, again, with the whole, money and status thing, see, you got to understand something is that when it comes to the whole money and status thing, right? You got to understand this is that just having the money and the status at the end of the day is not going to be enough to be able to get you where you want to go. Because I've been saying this whole video, the guy who has it the easiest is the one who has the game. Because you have guys out here who have money and status. You got even, guys who are famous and shit, who have a lot of money, but their game is terrible. So then they get themselves in situations where shit don't go the way that they want it to go. Do you remember, and you can probably look this up, I'm sure it's online somewhere or whatever, where the actor James Franco, I think this was a few years ago, he was doing, I think, a play up in New York City. And he meets this girl, some fan or some shit like that. And he tries to holler at her. And I think he hits her up on either Instagram or Twitter or something like that. And he was DMing her. And he was like, he wanted her to, I guess, to come back to the hotel. And then so she was basically playing the nigga. She screenshotted all his fucking responses or whatever. And she sent it to the media. And, he got on TV and was just looking like a fucking idiot. You understand what I'm saying? And this is James Franco. James Franco is basically a sex symbol. And this motherfucker is having trouble fucking a groupie. It's ridiculous. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Same thing with your boy Drake. You remember when Drake was trying to get with, I think it was that porn star Mia Khalifa, I think her name is. And she played this nigga, Drake, okay? And she was like, she basically wasn't fucking with him. And you would think that a dude like Drake, he got the money, he got the status, that he wouldn't need to deal with that shit. You got a whole bunch of NBA players getting played, these chicks be getting these dudes pregnant. I mean, I said they getting these dudes pregnant. These dudes be getting these chicks pregnant, these NBA players and shit, and these, and you would think that they would have enough game to not do that type of shit, to not get caught up into the situation where now this chick end up, getting child support, she getting shit popping off. And, it's crazy. Like, you look at someone like, Kanye and Wiz Khalifa, and their game was so weak that they ended up making Amber Rose a household name. You understand what I'm saying? Amber Rose's game was tighter than these motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they both got played heavy. You understand? So what you gotta understand is that at the end of the day, the guy who the game is going to be easier for is the guy who has game. Now, this should be very good news to you. Why? Because any guy can step up his motherfucking game. This is what I've been saying for the past 10 years. But, dudes want to, live in a fantasy world. They want to, make excuses. They want to keep, going on this whole looks, money, status nonsense. You understand? Because even, I'll use myself as an example, right? Now, I'm not going to, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything. You understand? I'm not, I think I'm a pretty decent looking guy if we're going to go with the whole looks thing. I'm actually being modest right now. I think I'm sexy as fuck. But, it's crazy how much, because this thing, I've modeled for polo jeans in the past. You understand? So if we want to get on some societal bullshit as far as, a good looking dude, I'm just trying to explain to you guys. So I've modeled for polo jeans. I've modeled for other companies, right? And I think I talked about this in another video. I was talking about there's a website called beautifulpeople.com. And in order for you to get on that, the women have to vote on you to see if they feel that you're good looking enough to be on the site. So I went on that site and they voted me in, right? Now, I say that, I'm not saying that to brag or whatever, because I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, right? Why I'm saying this is because I'm telling you from my own experience that me, a chick thinking I'm good looking, right, hasn't made it easier for me to deal with women. I still have to deal with women flaking. I still have to deal with women being attention whores. I still have to deal with, women, there was times where I would go over to a chick's house and then all of a sudden she's changing her mind. Oh, I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. And I'm out. You understand? Like, it's not like I'm just sitting back chilling and chicks is just like, banging down my door, chasing me down the street. That's not happening. You understand what I'm saying? It's not happening that way. I still got to go out there and approach, talk, interact, do all the same shit that every other motherfucking guy does. In fact, the guy who taught me a lot of game back in the day was not a good looking dude. I know, several guys who, you would probably say aren't the best looking guys, but can get way more chicks than your average dude. I know guys who don't have money to their name and they're able to get hot chicks. Why? It's because of the game. It's because of the game. I mean, I don't know how else to tell you guys this. I don't know how else to tell you this. Because all the things that, you think that you need in order to make it easier for you is an illusion. You understand? It's an illusion. Now, like I said earlier, are there guys where, a chick will think he's good looking and give him some? Yeah, sure. That's gonna happen once in a blue moon. That happened to me once in a blue moon, but it's not enough to where it's like, bro, man, look, man, bro, if you was good looking, bro, oh man, bro, I mean, you just walk into a room and bitches just start dropping drawers, nigga. I mean, man, like I just walk into the club and, chicks just take my dick out and start sucking my nigga. I mean, man, god damn, this good looking shit is crazy, dog. I mean, man, all I gotta do is fucking walk into the fucking, house party and chicks is all over. It don't work that way. Even with guys where they have a lot of money, it's like, it's not gonna make it easier for you. I'm sorry to tell you this, because what you gotta understand is that when it comes to the money thing, the women are attracted to the money, right? So you're not really attracting them specifically with, who you are, just actually, that vibe you give. It's just the money. So, technically any dude can acquire some money, right? And he can get the money. He can, pay a prostitute, give some money to a gold digger. You understand what I'm saying? Pop some bottles, front and fake at the club. Dude, you could do this shit. You could do this shit all you want. Right? And, to a certain extent, that's technically, game right there. It's a form of game. Right? But my thing is this. To me, at the end of the day, and, and when you look at it objectively, I look at it as bad business. Like, if I was running a business and somebody said to me, I was telling a person like, damn, I spend like, $10,000 a month on advertising so that I can make, $20,000. Right? So if the person said to me, listen, I'm going to promote you for free. Just because, I just like you. I'm going to promote you for free. You ain't got to spend no more money on promotion. I'm going to promote you for free. And that's what it is, right? You most likely would be like, hell motherfucking yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, let's get this shit popping, right? You're not going to say, oh no, let me just keep paying this $10,000 a month for this advertising when I got somebody that says, yo, you can advertise for free. So when you hear that you can get women without having to put up money, why would you choose the option to put up the money when it's not even, because you're thinking, oh, well, if I have the money, it's going to be easy. Not really, because again, like I was saying, there still has to be game applied even when you putting up money. So if you can get chicks with game without having to put up money, or you can get chicks, with game having to put up money, why would you put up the money? But I mean, some dudes want to, they want to do it that way, and that's all good. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to let you know what the fucking options are. And so, a lot of times what happens is that the reason why dudes are really having a hard time in the game is because they are chasing the looks, money, status mantra. They're thinking, well, if I have or get these things, then it's going to be easier for me. I'm automatically going to get sex. Soon as I get all of my money up, I'm going to get sex. Soon as I look better, I'm going to get sex. Soon as I, my status goes up, I'm going to get sex. You understand what I'm saying? They're saying it like, oh, it's automatically going to happen. But again, like I was saying earlier, even when you have those things, in order for you to acquire what you want, you still have to have a strategy. And that strategy is the game. So if you want to know, what makes it easier, or the type of guy who's going to have it easier in the game, is the guy who has game. And that guy can be you. Click the link below or go to MrLocario.com to get tickets for the Bad Boy Seminar, which is on March 25th, 2017. Space is limited, so get your tickets today.
Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below to send me a question. If you have a question on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which teaches you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And 3, I want you to click the link under that one to go to Bad Boy Membership, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month.
Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy to follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.